When you grow old, 5 things to let go of immediately for a happier life. As we journey through the golden years, life often offers us profound opportunities to reflect. Embrace what truly matters and let go of the burdens that weigh us down. For those of us aged 65 and beyond, happiness isn't found in possessions or accomplishments. It's rooted in peace of mind, meaningful relationships, and the joy of living in the present. To truly savor this chapter of life, there are 5 things we must let go of, burdens that, while once significant, no longer serve us and only hinder the joy and serenity we deserve. Here's how to lighten your heart and find happiness as you grow older. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Let go of resentment. Resentment is a thief that quietly steals our peace, joy, and health. It roots itself deep in our hearts, nurtured by memories of betrayal, hurtful words, or actions we deem unfair. Over time, it can harden into a weight so heavy that it stifles our ability to live fully and love freely. Yet holding on to resentment feels oddly familiar, almost like protecting an old wound. We think that if we let go, we're letting someone off the hook. But the truth is, holding on to resentment doesn't punish the person who wronged us, it punishes us. When you hold on to resentment, it's like clutching a burning coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. All it does is scorch your own hand. That anger, that bitterness, seeps into the corners of your mind, shows up in your thoughts when you least expect it, and can even manifest in physical ailments. Science has shown that harboring resentment can contribute to stress, anxiety, and even heart disease. But beyond the physical toll, it robs us of something even more precious: our emotional freedom. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean excusing or forgetting what someone did, nor does it mean inviting them back into your life. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a declaration that the pain inflicted by someone else no longer has power over you. It's choosing to release the grip of anger so you can hold on to something far more valuable: peace. Imagine letting go. Think about the person or situation that still haunts your thoughts. Perhaps it's an old friend who betrayed your trust, a family member whose words cut too deeply, or even a younger version of yourself who made choices you now regret. Picture setting that burden down and watching it fade into the distance. How light would you feel? How free? The act of letting go doesn't happen overnight. It begins with acknowledging the hurt. Say to yourself, "Yes, this happened. It hurt deeply and it mattered." Give yourself permission to grieve, to feel anger, to process the emotions tied to that memory. But then remind yourself that you don't live there anymore. The hurt may be part of your story, but it doesn't define the rest of your journey. Forgiveness is an ongoing practice, not a one-time event. On some days, it will feel easier than on others. Some mornings, you might wake up and feel the sting of old wounds, but on others you'll notice the pain feels lighter. Celebrate those moments. They are proof that you're healing. Letting go of resentment also involves rethinking the story you tell yourself about the past. Ask yourself, what have I learned from this? How has it shaped the person I am today? Sometimes, the greatest growth comes from our deepest wounds. Resentment loses its power when we can look at those experiences not just as scars but as reminders of our resilience. To let go of resentment is to reclaim your power. It's standing up and saying, "I will no longer allow this pain to dictate my life." It's a bold act of self-love and an invitation to live fully in the present. After all, the people who hurt you don't deserve a place in your thoughts any longer. They don't deserve to steal your joy. Letting go isn't about them. It's about you, your peace, and your happiness. Imagine your life unburdened by anger. Picture yourself smiling more freely, laughing more fully, and feeling lighter in your heart. Resentment may have walked with you for years, but it doesn't have to stay. Today can be the day you start loosening its grip, one breath, one thought, and one act of forgiveness at a time. You've carried this weight long enough. It's time to let it go, for your health, for your joy, for you. 2. Let go of past sorrows. The past is a place we visit often, filled with laughter and light, but also shadows of sorrow and loss. For many of us, The most difficult part of aging is not the years accumulating behind us, but the memories we carry. The weight of past sorrows, lost opportunities, fractured relationships, or the aching absence of loved ones can feel unbearable at times. Yet to dwell in the past is to miss the beauty of the present and the promise of what still lies ahead. Letting go of past sorrows doesn't mean erasing them or pretending they didn't happen. It means recognizing that life is a mosaic of moments, both joyful and painful, and choosing to focus on the colors that brighten your days. The sorrows of the past, while formative, don't deserve the power to overshadow the moments of joy and peace you can still create. Life, after all, isn't about forgetting, it's about learning how to carry the memories without letting them weigh you down. Think about the moments that haunt you, perhaps a regret over something left unsaid, a decision you wish you could undo, or a loved one you lost too soon. These sorrows are threads in the tapestry of your life, but they are not the whole story. They are chapters, not the final act. Grieving is natural and necessary, but staying anchored to sorrow can keep you from experiencing the fullness of life that remains. Imagine a garden after a storm. Some branches are broken, flowers have been trampled, and the soil is scattered. Yet with care and attention, new life emerges. The same is true for your heart. Past sorrows may have left their mark, but they don't have to define the garden of your life. New joys can bloom if you give them space to grow. The process of letting go starts with acceptance. Accept that what happened cannot be changed. Accept that sorrow is part of being human, a testament to how deeply you have loved and how fully you have lived. But also accept that you have the strength to move forward, honoring the lessons those sorrows have taught you while leaving the pain behind. Focusing on the present can be your greatest act of healing. Today you have the chance to breathe in the crisp morning air, feel the warmth of the sun on your face, and hear the laughter of those around you. Each of these moments is a gift, one that sorrow can blind us to if we let it. By letting go of past grief, you open your heart to the small, quiet joys of everyday life. There's also power in reframing your story. Instead of seeing the past as a collection of wounds, view it as proof of your resilience. You've survived heartache, endured loss, and continued to move forward. Each sorrow has made you stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Letting go doesn't mean dismissing your pain. It means acknowledging that your story is so much more than its saddest chapters. Perhaps the hardest part of letting go is the fear that, in doing so, you're losing the connection to what you've lost. But letting go of sorrow doesn't mean letting go of love. The love remains, it always will. It's a part of you, a quiet strength that fuels your days. By choosing to focus on the love instead of the loss, you honor the people and moments that have shaped you. Letting go of past sorrows is not a betrayal of your memories, it's an act of courage. It's telling yourself that while you carry the past within you, you also deserve to live fully in the present. You are not defined by what you've lost, but by how you choose to embrace what remains. As you breathe in this moment, let the past rest gently in its place. You've given it enough of your time, your tears, your heart. Now turn your face to the sunlight of today. Let the sorrows of yesterday drift into the background where they belong, so that the beauty of now can take center stage. Life is waiting. Step forward and embrace it. 3. Let go of meaningless relationships. Life, as it progresses, has a way of revealing what truly matters, and who truly matters. When we are younger, we often find ourselves surrounded by a crowd, friends, colleagues, acquaintances, and even fleeting companions who come and go. In those days, it can feel like the more connections we have, the richer our lives must be. But as the years pass and we grow older, we begin to see the truth. It is not the quantity of relationships that brings us joy but the quality of the connections we hold dear. Some relationships no longer serve us, and that's okay. Not every person we meet is meant to stay in our lives forever. Time has a way of revealing who brings light to our days and who casts shadows over them. By the time we reach our golden years, it becomes essential to make a choice. Do we continue carrying relationships that weigh us down, or do we free ourselves to focus on the ones that truly nurture our souls? Letting go of meaningless relationships isn't about bitterness or judgment, it's about self-respect. It's about acknowledging that your time and energy are precious and that they should be invested in people who value you as much as you value them. You don't have to hold on to every acquaintance from your past simply because they've been there a long time. Longevity doesn't always equal loyalty or love. Some connections have run their course, and there is grace in recognizing that. Think about the people in your life. Are there those who uplift you, make you smile, and remind you of your worth? These are the relationships to treasure. And then are there those who drain you, who bring negativity, and leave you feeling unseen or unimportant? These are the relationships to reconsider. It doesn't mean ending things with hostility. It means stepping back and prioritizing your well-being. By letting go of meaningless relationships, you make room for deeper connections. Sometimes, holding on to what is comfortable can prevent you from finding what is truly meaningful. Imagine the space you could create for new friendships, rekindled bonds with loved ones, or even for deepening your relationship with yourself. In the absence of superficial ties, your heart and mind become open to what truly fulfills you. The act of letting go can feel daunting. You may fear hurting others, or feel guilt for stepping away. But remember this: caring for yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. The people who genuinely care about you will understand your choice, and those who don't were never truly invested in your happiness to begin with. Meaningful relationships don't always have to be numerous, they just need to be genuine. A single friend who truly listens, a child or grandchild who shares moments of laughter, or a neighbor who stops by just to check in, these are the connections that enrich life. It's not about grand gestures or constant attention, it's about the quiet assurance that you are cared for, respected, and loved. As you reflect on your relationships, consider this: life is too short to spend with people who don't see your value. Surround yourself with those who celebrate your presence, who bring out your best self, and who make your days brighter. And in turn, be that person for others. Meaningful relationships are not one-sided. They are mutual, built on trust, kindness, and respect. Letting go of meaningless relationships is not a loss, it's a gain. It's gaining freedom from negativity, from obligation, and from the weight of carrying connections that no longer bring joy. It's making space for love, laughter, and companionship that make life worth living. You deserve to spend these years surrounded by people who truly matter. Choose wisely, with an open heart and a clear mind. Let go of what doesn't serve you and hold tightly to what does. In doing so, you'll find yourself living not just with contentment, but with a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. 4. Let go of empty pride and titles. As the years pass and the roles we once played begin to fade, we may find ourselves clinging to the titles and accolades that defined us. These badges of honor, job titles, achievements, or social positions, once brought us pride, a sense of identity, and recognition. They marked our successes, sacrifices, and the roles we held in the world. But as life moves forward, the need to hold on to these symbols can become a burden, obscuring the deeper meaning of who we truly are. Letting go of empty pride and titles doesn't mean dismissing the accomplishments of the past. It means recognizing that your value isn't tied to what you once were but to who you are today. The truth is, titles are fleeting. They may have brought you status or respect in a particular chapter of life, but they don't define your worth in this moment. What defines you now is the legacy you create through your actions, your kindness, and your presence. Consider the weight that pride can carry when it is rooted in outdated roles or comparisons. A retired CEO who still introduces themselves by their former position may feel a sense of accomplishment, but they may also find themselves disconnected from the present. Clinging to past titles can create a barrier between who you were and who you have the potential to become, tethering you to a world that no longer exists. There is profound liberation in letting go of these old labels. By doing so, you allow yourself to embrace the simplicity and beauty of the present. You are no longer a former anything, you are simply you, in all your wisdom, experience, and authenticity. This moment, stripped of titles and expectations, is where your true self can shine. Letting go of pride doesn't mean losing dignity or self-respect. It means releasing the need to prove your worth through external validation. You are not the sum of your achievements, or the roles you've played. You are the laughter you share with friends, the love you give to your family, and the wisdom you pass on to the next generation. These intangible gifts far outweigh any title or accolade. When we let go of pride, we also make room for deeper connections with others. Pride, rooted in titles or status, can create walls between us and those we care about. It can prevent us from showing vulnerability, asking for help, or admitting when we're wrong. By setting aside these facades, we invite authenticity into our relationships. We become more approachable, relatable, and ultimately more fulfilled. It's also important to recognize that letting go of titles doesn't diminish what you've accomplished. Your contributions to the world, whether in a career, a community, or a family, remain significant. They don't disappear when you stop naming them. Instead, they live on in the lives you've touched and the impact you've made. Consider the story you want to tell about your life now. Do you want it to be a list of titles and achievements, or do you want it to reflect the richness of your character, the love you've shared, and the legacy you've built through the way you've treated others? The most profound achievements in life are often the quietest: a relationship mended, a grandchild taught a lesson, or a friend comforted in a time of need. Letting go of empty pride is not a loss, it's an act of courage and self-awareness. It allows you to step into this new chapter of life with confidence, unburdened by the past and open to the opportunities of the present. It's a recognition that your worth doesn't come from a title but from the person you've become through all of life's trials and triumphs. As you release the need to define yourself by what you've done, you'll find that who you are is more than enough. In this stage of life, there's no need for pretense or posturing. Embrace the freedom that comes with being simply and authentically you. You've earned it. 5. Forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness is one of the most profound acts of healing, yet it is often the hardest to extend, especially to ourselves. As we journey through life, we accumulate not only the joys of living but also the scars of mistakes, regrets, and relationships that didn't turn out as we had hoped. These scars, if left unhealed, can weigh heavily on our hearts, keeping us tethered to pain and preventing us from embracing the peace we deserve. Forgiving yourself is perhaps the most essential yet overlooked form of self-compassion. We tend to hold ourselves to impossible standards, replaying moments when we feel we failed to act, failed to say the right thing, or failed to live up to our own or others' expectations. Over time, this self-blame can harden into a relentless inner critic whispering words of judgment when we most need kindness. But consider this: you are human, and being human means being imperfect. Perfection was never the goal. Growth, learning, and love are. To forgive yourself is to embrace your humanity. It's to say, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. It's to honor your journey and recognize that every misstep was part of your growth. Imagine speaking to your younger self, not with anger or disappointment, but with the same gentleness you would show to a child learning to walk. Remind yourself that you were always trying, even when things didn't turn out as planned. You cannot rewrite the past, but you can choose to view it with compassion instead of criticism. Extending forgiveness to others can be equally transformative. We've all been hurt by someone, perhaps a friend who betrayed us, a loved one who let us down, or even a stranger whose actions left a lasting impact. These wounds often linger, not because they are fresh, but because we revisit them, nursing the pain as if holding on to it will somehow right the wrong. But holding on to anger or resentment is like chaining yourself to a rock and expecting the other person to feel the weight. In truth, the only person who suffers is you. Forgiving others doesn't mean excusing their behavior or pretending the hurt didn't happen. It means releasing the hold their actions have over your peace of mind. It's choosing to let go of the anger that keeps you bound to them so you can move forward unencumbered. Forgiveness is not a gift to the person who hurt you, it's a gift to yourself, a declaration that you will no longer let the past dictate your present. This act of letting go is not always easy. There will be moments when the old pain resurfaces, when memories sting as if they happened yesterday. In those moments, remind yourself that forgiveness is a process, not a destination. It's a practice you return to again and again, each time loosening the grip of the hurt just a little more. Over time, you'll notice the pain feels lighter, the anger less sharp, and the peace within you stronger. Forgiveness also requires perspective. As you reflect on those who hurt you, consider their humanity too. Were they acting out of their own pain, ignorance, or fear? This doesn't excuse their actions, but it can help you see them as flawed individuals rather than villains. Often, understanding the why behind someone's actions can make it easier to let go of the what. In forgiving them, you're not condoning their behavior, you're choosing to stop carrying the weight of it. Ultimately, forgiveness is a profound act of freedom. It's about setting yourself free from the prisons of guilt, anger, and resentment that can keep you stuck in the past. It's about reclaiming your power and choosing peace over pain. Whether it's forgiving yourself for a mistake you made years ago or forgiving someone who hurt you deeply, each act of forgiveness is a step toward a lighter, freer life. As you move through this stage of life, remember that forgiveness doesn't change the past, it transforms the future. It clears the path for joy, connection, and a sense of wholeness that cannot coexist with resentment. You've carried these burdens long enough. Now is the time to set them down. Forgive yourself for the times you didn't know better, forgive others for their imperfections, just as you hope to be forgiven for yours. In doing so, step into a life that is not defined by what has been lost or broken, but by what still remains to be cherished and celebrated. Forgiveness isn't just an act, it's a gift, one that you give to yourself over and over again. Conclusion: embracing the freedom to live fully as we age. Life offers us an extraordinary gift, the opportunity to focus on what truly matters. It's a time to shed the burdens we've carried, to release the pain of the past, and to embrace the simplicity and beauty of the present moment. Letting go is not about losing, it's about gaining clarity, peace, and the freedom to live authentically. Each act of letting go brings you a step closer to the joy and contentment you deserve. When you release resentment, you reclaim your peace. When you let go of past sorrows, you make room for gratitude. When you walk away from meaningless relationships, you strengthen the bonds that truly nourish your soul. When you release empty pride, you find humility and grace. And when you forgive yourself and others, you open your heart to the profound freedom that only love and compassion can bring. These years, though they may feel like the autumn of life, are filled with the rich harvest of wisdom, resilience, and perspective. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you create space for what does, deeper connections, quieter joys, and a peace that transcends the noise of the world. Imagine a life where your heart feels light, your mind is unburdened, and your spirit is free to roam wherever it pleases. That life is possible, but it begins with the courage to let go. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Every breath you take is a reminder that the present is a gift waiting to be unwrapped. Open it. Cherish it. In the end, what matters most is not what you've held on to, but what you've released to make room for love, joy, and peace. This chapter of your life is yours to write, unburdened by the past and filled with the promise of what's still to come. You have the power to step forward, lighter and freer than ever before, into a life that is not just lived but truly embraced. Let go, and let yourself fully live. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms. 5 common mistakes people make in old age that can diminish their quality of life. Aging is a privilege, one that many do not get to experience. However, growing older doesn't mean you automatically grow wiser. Some mistakes we make in our later years can quietly erode our quality of life, leaving us feeling unfulfilled, lonely, or even resentful of the years we worked so hard to reach. As someone who has lived through the ups and downs, I can tell you this: your golden years can be the most meaningful chapter of your life, but only if you avoid falling into certain traps. Here are the 5 most common mistakes people make in old age and how to avoid them. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Neglecting physical and mental health. One of the most unfortunate mistakes people make in old age is treating their physical and mental health as afterthoughts. Many believe that, because they've reached a certain age, their energy, strength, and clarity will naturally decline. They resign themselves to a sedentary lifestyle, poor eating habits, and passive routines, all while lamenting the aches and pains that come with aging. Here's the truth: while we cannot turn back the clock, we can decide how gracefully we age, how vibrantly we live, and how much joy we extract from each day. Your body is your most loyal companion. For decades it has carried you through life's triumphs and challenges. It is the one thing that stays with you through every season of life. Yet, in old age, it is often the most neglected. We ignore the signals it sends us: fatigue, stiffness, and pain, which are not signs of defeat but cries for attention and care. The irony is that when we stop moving, we age faster. Mobility is life. A short walk in the park, gentle stretches in the morning, or even gardening can keep your muscles alive and your heart pumping. These small actions remind your body that it's still needed, still vital. Then there's the mind, our faithful guide through a lifetime of learning, loving, and striving. However, how often do we let it grow dull in old age? Some retreat into monotonous routines, letting the days blur into each other. They watch endless hours of television or scroll aimlessly through their phones, numbing their thoughts instead of sharpening them. A mind left unstimulated loses its edge, and with it, the sense of curiosity and wonder that keeps life rich and meaningful. A neglected mind can also fall prey to loneliness and despair. As we age, the social circles we once relied upon may shrink, friends move away, loved ones pass on, and our lives can feel emptier than before. This isolation gnaws at our spirit, convincing us that we are no longer relevant. Yet the truth is the opposite: our wisdom, stories, and presence matter more than ever. It's in these years that we should lean into meaningful connections, engage with our community, and keep building bridges instead of burning them. The first step toward vitality, both physical and mental, is to believe in your ability to improve. Society often tells older adults that it's too late to change, but nothing could be further from the truth. Scientific research shows that even in your 70s and 80s, you can gain strength, sharpen your mind, and enhance your well-being with consistent effort. It's not about reversing time, it's about making the time you have left truly count. Take ownership of your health. Don't let your physical limitations or mental hurdles define you. When you nourish your body with wholesome food, you are not just eating, you are investing in more years of mobility, fewer doctor visits, and a higher quality of life. When you move your body, even in small ways, you are telling it, "I'm not giving up." When you challenge your mind, whether by reading a new book, taking up a hobby, or learning something entirely new, you are reminding yourself that growth doesn't stop at any age. Equally important is tending to your emotional health. Aging comes with its share of losses, and it's natural to grieve. However, it's also a time to cultivate gratitude for the sunsets you've seen, the meals you've shared, the love you've felt, and the legacy you've built. It's gratitude that transforms aging from a burden into a privilege. When you shift your focus from what you've lost to what you still have, life becomes infinitely richer. Neglecting your physical and mental health is a slow surrender. It robs you of the vitality that should define your golden years. But the good news is that the choice is yours. Each day, you can decide to nourish your body, engage your mind, and connect with others. It's not about living forever, it's about living fully, with purpose, clarity, and joy. The most precious gift you have is not your past, it's the present moment. How you choose to spend it defines the legacy you'll leave behind. 2. Relying on vices for comfort. As we grow older, life slows down in many ways. The routines that once kept us busy, careers, raising children, endless errands, fade into the background, leaving more time than we often know how to fill. In this newfound quiet, many seniors find themselves turning to small comforts, habits, or indulgences to cope with boredom, loneliness, or even the deep emotional void that can accompany aging. But too often, these small comforts become vices. Instead of filling the emptiness, they drain life of its vibrancy. It's easy to understand why this happens. The loss of structure in retirement can be disorienting. Days stretch long and unoccupied, and without a sense of purpose, even the most disciplined among us might turn to distractions. For some, it's alcohol, a glass of wine to unwind after dinner that eventually becomes a nightly habit. For others, it's excessive screen time, sinking into hours of television or scrolling through social media in search of connection amidst a sea of isolation. For some, it's more destructive, overeating, gambling, or even overmedicating to dull the pains of aging. These vices often start small, even innocently. A drink might help ease stiffness in social situations, a favorite TV show brings familiarity and routine, and a little indulgence in food feels like a reward for years of hard work. But over time, these habits can grow into chains, holding you back from the richness that life still offers. What begins as a temporary escape can rob you of the energy, clarity, and connection needed to thrive in your later years. The problem with vices is that they offer an illusion of comfort without solving the root issues. They distract from feelings of loneliness, sadness, or inadequacy, but they don't resolve them. Instead, they create a cycle of dependence. The more you lean on these habits, the harder it becomes to face the deeper truths about what you're missing. Many seniors find themselves living in a state of quiet resignation, dulled by their vices but afraid to confront the emptiness beneath. Breaking free from this cycle requires courage, the courage to admit that these habits, while comforting, are not serving you. It also requires a willingness to replace them with something more fulfilling. The human spirit craves purpose and connection. When we deny ourselves these, we inevitably seek substitutes. However, there's a profound difference between a temporary distraction and a meaningful pursuit. Instead of relying on vices, seek out activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. If you find yourself pouring a drink to pass the evening, try inviting a neighbor over for tea instead. If you feel drawn to hours of television, consider volunteering at a local organization where your wisdom and experience will be valued. If loneliness feels unbearable, reach out, call a family member, join a book club, or attend a community event. The world still needs your presence, your stories, and your compassion. It's never too late to build bridges and make connections. It's also important to examine the emotional triggers behind your habits. Are you drinking to mask feelings of regret? Are you overeating because you feel unfulfilled? Are you gambling because it gives you a rush you don't feel in daily life? By addressing these emotions head-on, you can start to heal the underlying wounds rather than covering them up. Therapy, journaling, or even confiding in a trusted friend can help you unpack these feelings and find healthier ways to cope. Some might argue, "At my age, why should I change?" But the truth is that every day you wake up is a new opportunity to live better. Change isn't about erasing the past, it's about reclaiming the present and shaping the future. You deserve a life free from the grip of vices, a life filled with meaning, connection, and joy. Remember, habits can be replaced. If you have the capacity to form a vice, you also have the capacity to develop a passion. Channel your energy into pursuits that excite you, whether it's learning something new, exploring nature, or deepening your relationships. You are not too old to create a life that feels fulfilling and vibrant. Relying on vices for comfort is a form of surrender, an admission that the best days are behind you. But this is a lie that your vices whisper to keep you trapped. The truth is that you still have so much to give, experience, and enjoy. The key is to choose connection over isolation, curiosity over passivity, and purpose over distraction. When you do, you'll find that the emptiness fades, replaced by the warmth and richness of a life fully lived. 3. Clinging to a victim mentality. Life has a way of leaving its marks, and by the time we reach old age, many of us carry scars, emotional, physical, or financial. We've faced losses, disappointments, and struggles that have shaped who we are. But one of the most harmful mistakes we can make in our later years is to cling to a victim mentality, allowing past hardships to define the present and darken the future. It's natural to feel bitterness when life hasn't gone as we hoped. Perhaps relationships didn't turn out as we expected, leaving us estranged from loved ones. Maybe financial hardships or health issues have robbed us of the stability and strength we worked so hard to build. Some may have faced prejudice, betrayal, or even tragedy that left wounds too deep to heal easily. These experiences, while undeniably real, can cast long shadows over our golden years if we allow them to dominate our outlook. The problem with a victim mentality is that it keeps us stuck. By dwelling on what went wrong or who wronged us, we replay the pain over and over again, reinforcing the belief that life is unfair and that nothing can change. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We tell ourselves that we are powerless, and so we stop trying to improve our circumstances. We lose the ability to see the opportunities still available to us, robbing ourselves of joy and purpose. Here's the truth: no matter how much the world may have hurt you, you are not defined by what has happened to you. You are defined by how you choose to respond, and that choice is always yours to make. Even in the face of the greatest adversity, you can let your hardships become a weight that drags you down, or you can use them as stepping stones to rise higher. In old age, this choice becomes even more critical. Time is precious, and wasting it on resentment or regret only deprives us of the peace and fulfillment we deserve. Letting go of the victim mentality doesn't mean ignoring or invalidating the pain you've endured. It means refusing to let it control you. It means saying, "Yes, this happened to me, but it will not define the rest of my life." The first step to overcoming this mindset is to shift your focus. Instead of looking at what was taken from you, look at what remains. You may have lost loved ones, but you still have the capacity to love. You may face physical limitations, but your mind and spirit can still grow. You may not have the wealth or resources you once dreamed of, but you have wisdom, experience, and the ability to make a difference in the lives of others. Gratitude, even in the face of difficulty, is a powerful antidote to victimhood. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, life begins to feel fuller, brighter, and more abundant. It's also essential to reclaim your power. A victim mentality often stems from a sense of helplessness, a belief that life is something that happens to us rather than something we shape. But even in old age, you have the ability to influence your world. You can mend broken relationships by reaching out with forgiveness and understanding. You can create new routines and habits that bring meaning to your days. You can contribute to your community through volunteering or mentoring, leaving a legacy of kindness and wisdom. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a reminder that you are not powerless. Perhaps the greatest freedom comes from learning to let go. Let go of grudges that weigh heavy on your heart. Let go of expectations that no longer serve you, and let go of the need to prove yourself to others or to seek validation for your struggles. When you release these burdens, you create space for new joys and possibilities. You open the door to a lighter, more peaceful way of living. Old age is a time to reflect, yes, but also a time to rewrite the story we tell ourselves. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of life's hardships, see yourself as a survivor, a fighter, someone who has weathered the storms and is still standing. There is dignity in that, strength in that, and hope in knowing that even now, you can choose to live with purpose and positivity. Clinging to a victim mentality only keeps us tethered to the pain of the past. It's a choice that dims the light of the present and clouds the possibilities of the future. But by releasing it and choosing gratitude, empowerment, and forgiveness, we give ourselves the gift of freedom, the freedom to live the years ahead not as a victim but as the author of a new, beautiful chapter. 4. Ignoring financial realities. One of the most common and devastating mistakes people make in old age is ignoring their financial realities. After decades of hard work, it's tempting to feel that you've earned the right to stop worrying about money, to spend freely, to give generously, or to trust that everything will somehow work out. However, financial security in old age doesn't just happen. It requires awareness, planning, and discipline, even during the years when you might feel you deserve to let your guard down. Ignoring this truth can lead to stress, dependence on others, and a loss of the dignity that should define your golden years. Retirement often comes with a false sense of financial freedom. With no daily commute or work-related expenses, it's easy to assume that your spending will naturally decrease. But in reality, aging brings its own unique financial challenges: rising healthcare costs, home maintenance, inflation, and the desire to enjoy life through travel, hobbies, or helping loved ones. For many, these costs add up far faster than they anticipate, especially if they haven't adjusted their lifestyle to align with their new financial circumstances. One of the most damaging habits in old age is living beyond your means. For some, this might take the form of lavish vacations, frequent dining out, or indulging in hobbies that come with hefty price tags. For others, it might mean continuing to financially support grown children or grandchildren out of love, even when it strains your own resources. While these actions may feel fulfilling in the moment, they can quickly drain savings and leave you vulnerable in the years when you may need that money the most. At the same time, some seniors fall into the trap of denial. They avoid looking closely at their finances because they fear what they might find. They ignore mounting credit card debt, put off creating a budget, or avoid discussing financial matters with their spouse or family. But ignoring these realities doesn't make them disappear. It only allows them to grow into larger problems that are harder to fix. The key to avoiding financial ruin in old age is to take control of your finances with honesty and humility. Start by assessing where you truly stand. What are your fixed expenses? What do you have saved, and how long will it last at your current rate of spending? Are there areas where you can cut back without sacrificing your quality of life? Facing these questions may be uncomfortable, but it's a necessary step toward financial stability. Living within your means doesn't have to feel like a sacrifice. In fact, it can be empowering. When you adjust your spending to fit your resources, you gain peace of mind and the freedom to focus on what truly matters instead of chasing material comforts. You can invest in experiences and relationships that bring lasting joy. A potluck dinner with friends can be just as fulfilling as dining at an expensive restaurant. A simple weekend getaway can create memories just as meaningful as a luxury vacation. Living modestly doesn't diminish your life. It enriches it by reducing financial stress and allowing you to enjoy the present moment without fear of the future. Another critical aspect of financial security in old age is planning for the unexpected. Healthcare is one of the biggest expenses many seniors face, and it's often underestimated. Even if you're healthy now, it's wise to prepare for potential medical costs down the road. This might mean investing in long-term care insurance, setting aside a dedicated emergency fund, or exploring government programs and resources that can help reduce your financial burden. It's also important to seek help when you need it. Pride often prevents seniors from asking for financial advice, but doing so can make a world of difference. Whether it's consulting a financial advisor, attending a community workshop on budgeting, or having an open conversation with a trusted family member, reaching out for guidance can help you make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom and responsibility. Finally, consider the legacy you want to leave behind. Many seniors worry about leaving something for their children or grandchildren, but it's essential to prioritize your own needs first. Financial independence is the greatest gift you can give your family because it spares them the burden of supporting you. By taking care of yourself, you set an example of responsibility and resilience that your loved ones can admire and emulate. Ignoring financial realities in old age is a mistake that can erode not only your savings but also your peace of mind and sense of independence. By facing these realities with courage and clarity, you can build a life that is secure, sustainable, and fulfilling. You've worked hard to reach this stage of life. Honor that effort by managing your finances wisely so you can enjoy the freedom, dignity, and joy that your golden years are meant to bring. 5. Waiting for someday. One of the greatest tragedies of old age is the habit of waiting for the perfect moment, the right time, or the elusive someday to finally do the things that bring you joy or fulfillment. This habit, while seemingly harmless, is a silent thief of time. It steals not just days and months, but opportunities to live fully, to connect deeply, and to create memories that will sustain you through the quiet moments of life. The idea of someday is seductive. It whispers promises of a future where everything will fall into place, where your health will improve, your finances will stabilize, or your fears will suddenly dissolve. But someday is a mirage. It's a destination that never truly arrives, and for those of us in the later chapters of life, waiting for someday is perhaps the most dangerous mistake of all because time is no longer a luxury, it's our most finite and precious resource. What stops us from acting now? Sometimes it's fear of failure, fear of change, fear of rejection. Perhaps you've thought about picking up the phone to mend a broken relationship but hesitated, wondering if the other person will reciprocate. Maybe you've dreamed of traveling to a place you've always wanted to see but worried that your health might not keep up. Or perhaps you've wanted to try something new, a class, a hobby, a social group, but held back because you felt it was too late or that you might embarrass yourself. These fears, while understandable, are the barriers we build between ourselves and a life well lived. At other times, it's pride or procrastination. You might tell yourself, "I'll do it when I feel better," or "I'll get to it after the holidays," or even, "I don't need to rush, it can wait." But the truth is, life doesn't wait. Every time we put off an opportunity to connect, explore, or grow, we risk losing it forever. The call goes unmade, the trip unplanned, the moment unlived. In the end, it's not the things we did that we regret most, it's the things we didn't do. There is a beautiful clarity that comes with recognizing that time is limited. It sharpens our focus on what truly matters and gives us the courage to prioritize the things that bring us joy and meaning. Instead of waiting for the right time, we must learn to embrace the imperfect now. Call that friend or family member you've been meaning to reconnect with, even if you're not sure what to say. Book that trip, even if it means traveling with a little discomfort. Sign up for that class, even if you're the oldest one in the room. Act with urgency, because every moment you seize is a moment you won't lose. Living with urgency doesn't mean rushing or acting recklessly, it means living with intention. It means asking yourself each day, what can I do today that will make my life fuller, richer, or more meaningful? It's about breaking free from the paralysis of waiting and leaning into action, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. And here's the secret: the more you act, the more empowered you'll feel. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. It reminds you that you are capable, that you still have the ability to shape your life and create new experiences. This is not about living in denial of aging or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about refusing to let those challenges define or limit you. The truth is, there's no perfect time to live fully, there's only now. The more we wait, the more we risk watching life pass us by, leaving behind a trail of what-ifs and missed opportunities. But when we choose to act, we open ourselves to the possibility of joy, connection, and growth. We prove to ourselves and to those around us that it's never too late to live with purpose and passion. Old age is not a time to sit back and watch the world go by. It's a time to lean into the present, to take bold steps toward the life you've always wanted, and to make peace with the life you've already lived. It's a time to recognize that every day is a gift, a chance to mend, to create, and to cherish. So don't wait for someday. Someday is not promised. What you have is today, this moment, this opportunity. Use it to make that call, take that trip, try that new thing, or simply say yes to life. When you live with urgency, you'll find that the regrets of waiting are replaced by the satisfaction of action. The life you once dreamed of becomes the life you're living right now, and that is the greatest gift of all. Conclusion: living a life without regrets. As the sun sets on one chapter of life, it rises on another. Aging isn't the end of the road, it's a transition, a season rich with opportunities for reflection, connection, and growth. But to make the most of these years, we must avoid the mistakes that quietly diminish our joy and purpose. We must guard against the traps of neglecting our health, leaning on destructive habits, clinging to a victim mindset, ignoring financial realities, and waiting endlessly for a perfect someday. Each of these mistakes has the power to rob us of the dignity and fulfillment we've spent a lifetime building. But here's the truth: it's never too late to choose differently. The beauty of life is that every day offers a fresh start. No matter your age, you can choose to care for your body and mind, break free from harmful patterns, embrace gratitude and empowerment, take charge of your finances, and live with urgency. These decisions, though simple, have the power to transform your golden years into a time of meaning, connection, and joy. Remember, aging isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. It's about showing up each day with a heart open to new experiences, a mind curious about the world, and a spirit ready to leave behind a legacy of wisdom and love. The past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. What defines you is how you choose to live now, with courage, intention, and an unwavering commitment to making the most of the time you have. Let your later years be a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Let them reflect the richness of a life lived fully, with no lingering regrets or missed opportunities. Because at the end of the day, the measure of a life well lived isn't found in the number of years, but in the depth of the moments and the love, laughter, and purpose we infuse into them. So take that first step today. Embrace the present, because this moment, right now, is the greatest gift you'll ever have. Live it fully, live it well. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.